Well, hello, welcome back to Tail 3 Cabinet. As you can see, the pole barn is faring pretty well. Not too much cluttered up since I cleared it out a few episodes ago. So I have everything pretty much organized to where I can get to everything. I need to just move that bike out of the way temporarily. I thought maybe the weather would break where I would use the bike one more time, but it's not looking that way. So the holiday season is coming up, and I thought I would share with you some gift ideas of some of the products I've been using this year. Some not so expensive and some a little bit on the expensive side, but let's get started. Well, it would not be a gift guide if I did not mention something that doesn't give you a little illumination to your life. And in the past, I have covered some flashlights, some headlamps. Last year, I covered a little pen-size LED multifunctional flashlight that I thought was pretty neat, and that was on a budget, very reasonably priced. And I thought this year, doing a little bit of research, that I found out that there are a lot of folks out there that are flashlight aficionados. Like there are people that are serious knives collectors or gun collectors or some sort of collectors. Other people collect flashlights. And what I was looking for was one flashlight to rule them all. And I think I found it. Now imagine if Apple used their craftsmanship, their ingenuity, their ease of use, and style and put it all into a flashlight. Unfortunately, they don't, but Olight does. And this is the Olight ArkPro Ultra. Now, in my research, this is basically one flashlight to rule them all. Can it compete with something of this size with the LED beam on here, 3 D-cell batteries, a lot more milliamps coming out of it? But let's break this baby down. I think if you look at this, you can already tell that it's made very well. It's got aluminum alloy on the outside, just the knurling here, the laser engraving on the side. Then on the front you have your functions and this little select dial to make things easy. So it's 4 flashlights in one, and you can also use it with 7 different configurations. But if you start out on the left of the select knob, so right here is the arrow, this is your selector knob. We start on the left, and this is a UV light. It has 2 ranges of UV. If you press the power button, I don't know if you can see, but the UV light is on. And I'll demonstrate this with my description going on right now. You also have 2 powers of the UV light, so if you hold it down, you can make that UV light a little bit stronger, or you can make it a little bit weaker. Next over is your floodlight, and as the flashlight is on, and as you turn things on, you'll notice that you have your battery level on this side. On the right is your light level, so you could start off with lower, double tap it, and go all the way up to full brightness, which is 1700 lumens, which is pretty darn bright for a flashlight of this size. Now if you press it again, you shut it off. If I come over and move the selector knob to its last position, all the way to the right, this is also a flashlight, but it's more of a concentrated beam. Same thing, you can adjust it to different brightnesses, and if you hit it 3 times, you can turn it into a strobe. So on the right is your battery level again. On the left is your light level. I said there were 4 modes, and the last one is a laser pointer. On the side here is a little side button. Turns on a laser that you can see right there. So if you look at the beam, and if I hold it, I can weaken it. I can put a lower intensity laser, or if I hold it again, I can make it a little bit brighter. So there's your laser selection on the side. Press and turn it on. Now you can use, let's say, the floodlight and the laser in conjunction. Let's say you want to use the beam of light and you're a contractor and you want to point something else out on an eave of a house or up on a roof. You can use the laser to do that. So this does have a nice clip here that you could stick in your pocket, as I showed you when I first pulled it out. And it's very snug and tight. You're not really going to lose it. It's not going to fall out. Also, if you see, it's kind of like a figure-8 loop here, that there's a secondary clip, and then you can use this to put on your brim of your hat. So if you want to use this for a headlamp, you have that option, and it's a pretty bright headlamp at that. Next is your method of charging. So on the bottom here, there's a magnetic base, which serves 2 purposes. You can either use it to adhere to something metal, so if you need a third hand to hold this while you're working on something. And then it will also charge, and it comes with a magnetic charger that attaches to this end, snaps on, and then the other end is a USB connection. It will show you on the charger itself that when it's charging, it'll give you a little red LED light. Once it's charged, that red LED light will turn green. Now, if you don't want to use that charger, you can use the side port here, which is a USB-C connection, and you can charge right up through here with any USB-C cable. This is not like a cheap rubbery type opening door here that, you know, over time could just break off, or kind of hard to close when you want to shut it off after you're done charging. This is feels like the same type of metal that the flashlight is made out of, and it's just like a nice hinged door. So this is water resistant, so you could dunk it in 1 meter of water for up to 30 minutes, pull it out, wipe it down, and it should still be okay. Now, battery life. Battery life, of course, the brighter the light you're going to be using, the more battery power it's going to use. But if you use a medium setting for 30 minutes a day, it will last 26 days. If you put this on the lowest light setting, they call that moon mode, and that will last 14 days straight. If you just leave it on continuously, it'll last 14 days. All right, so we're going to do a little experiment. Just bear with me here. That dot right there, that bright one, is Jupiter. Over there is Orion coming up in the east. But I'm going to show off these LED lights. And first I'm going to use the big 3-cell LED light. And we're going to light up against the woods here. All right, so that is large D-cell LED light. Okay, let me bring out this multi-mini LED light. First off, there's low, and now let's put it on high. Pretty impressive for just this little guy here. I don't need to carry something this big anymore. I can keep this with me all the time. Normally, if I had got a deer, I would have to go back to the UTV, pick this up, and then go back to where I was hunting. But this I can keep with me all the time and use it as an all-purpose flashlight. Flashlight is very well made. It comes with a lifetime warranty, though you are going to pay a bit of a premium for it. Just be prepared for that. But it does seem like they do something very Apple-esque. Even unboxing this, taking this out of the box, was like taking an Apple Watch or an iPhone out of the box. So they do put a lot of attention to detail and a lot of attention to craftsmanship, just the overall look and feel of this flashlight. I think it is one flashlight to rule them all. All right, so after 10 years with my old truck, and I got my new truck back in January, I wanted to upgrade some of my cleaning methods compared to what I used to use, an older style brush. So I picked up this kit on Amazon, which comes with a nice long brush. It's soft, it's not gonna scratch your truck. It's basically telescoping, so you can go down from 18 to 62 inches. It's got enough reach to reach the roof and over the hood, because this truck is a little bit taller than my old truck. Another issue I used to have was cleaning the tires, and especially the rims. And this brush comes along with it. It has nice soft bristles. They are very dense once they get to the tips here. So it's easy to get in all the nooks and crannies of my wheels. A lot of your wheels are pretty fancy nowadays. Very hard to get the brake dust out of my old truck when it used to accumulate in there. It would take a long time trying to use a sponge. Gets that brake dust out of there. A lot easier to maintain and keep clean of all the tires. If you don't want to use the bristles on the brush, or you want to use a different method, it does come with a mop that will attach to the end of this extension one. If you're the old-fashioned style, and this used to be way back when I used to pretty much wash my hand, I used to use a sponge or just a nice soft towel. You got that method, especially depending on what type of vehicle you have, what kind of nooks and crannies you have to get into. This can help out a little bit. If you're doing the windows, or even the windows in your house, you got a little squeegee that comes with it for doing windows. And then lastly, a nice little microfiber towel that you can clean up and squeegee off most of the water when you finish washing your car. So that's been very helpful. I've went to using a brush years ago. We used to use them on the fire department all the time, but I've always taken care into finding a nice soft edge, this rubberized edge here, and nice soft bristles, and it makes cleaning this truck a lot quicker. This is made by Ancelo. I'll leave a link in the description below. Comes in somewhere around $30. Occasionally they do have coupon codes you can use, or coupons or sales going on. I'm not sure what they're going to have for Black Friday. So that's what I upgraded to cleaning my car now, and definitely this brush and the combination with that brush makes it a little quicker, easier, and my tires are a lot cleaner. Another thing I picked up when I got my truck is this thing made by Analan. And if you can see it, it's rubberized, it's very flexible. It's got different grades of ridges on it. but it's designed to get pet hair out of your carpeting in your vehicle. Now, for years and years, we have a golden retriever. Before that, we had a collie golden mix. So we were always dealing with pet hair in our truck. Even though you'd shop vac it as much as you could using a shop vac, there was always hair still embedded into the carpeting, and that used to bug the heck out of me that I could not get it all out. Even trying to use a little Dirt Devil that's got the little rotating brush in there, you could get some of it, but it was still hard to get everything out. Where this is nice and simple. As you're shop vacuuming, you come in here, you just start raking up the fur on the carpet, and it goes pretty darn quick, and it is very thorough, and you can get that carpet back to a showroom finish. So this is made by Analan. Again, I'll leave a link down below on it. This is just one of those things that's very inexpensive, but works very well, and it amazes me how well it works and why I never thought of something like this. Pretty easy to work with. This is something I've been using now for a couple of years, and that's a tub o' towels. There's 90 wet wipes basically in here that have a heavy-duty cleaning solution on it. If you're working on your car and your hands are all dirty and full of grease, you can clean your hands really easy with these wipes. This is about the size of one of the wipes, but it works great for cleaning your hands. If you have grease that you're trying to clean up on a vehicle, so I just washed my truck, and inevitably there is always some little tar stains on there, especially when we're traveling. There's not a lot of time to clean and maintain the truck in between, so when I get home and wash the truck, there is a ton of tar stains all over the place. This works really great to clean up those tar stains. Same thing with the tractor. When you're greasing all the grease fittings, inevitably you're going to get grease all over the tractor, or it's going to leach out in certain places, and this is great to just wipe up that grease. It works really well. For cleaning my hands, I prefer it over using the orange stuff or that white cream that used to come in a can. I haven't bought that stuff in a long time, but most of the time it's easy when I'm working out here to just grab a little towelette, clean up my hands. I don't have to walk back to the house and wash them. I can clean them here, use a dry paper towel to finish off. So I keep a tub of these in the pole barn. I keep a tub in the RV, and then I keep one down in Southern Ohio. So I always have some nearby. So after that flashlight, that's a little pricey. A tub of towels gets you around $10 to $15 depending. Now we primarily use this on our RV, but you can use this basically anywhere. And what it is it's a level, but it's got a sensor in there, and it also gives you a visual display of just how level you are. So you can still use these little bubbles if you want to use the bubbles. But a lot of times you're in a precarious position. You maybe can't see the bubbles, maybe you don't have your glasses handy, but this is pretty darn accurate. We use it to level our RV when we get somewhere. But if you're using it to hang a picture, level shelves, it is pretty remarkable. Pretty simple to work. There's just a little on-off switch in the back. Takes one AA battery, and you're good to go. So pretty neat, pretty handy for us, especially on the RV. But again, there's a lot of times where we are using a level, you're holding it way up, and you just cannot see that bubble or make it out. Maybe you're in a place where the lighting is not that great. Very helpful, nice little leveler. This is made by Franklin Sensors, and I will leave a link again in the description below. Oh, oh. There you go. Now I highlighted this and did a complete review on it this past summer, but I thought I would mention it again just because I actually like it so much, and that is the Stihl pressure washer. It's worked out really good for me. It's been borrowed by a couple of friends of mine too that have used it. It's battery operated, so it comes with two little batteries. Once you're in that ecosystem of batteries, you can also use these batteries in some other tools, and I'll touch on that in a second. But basically, you have your gun here. You have your easy to attach wands. So this would be an extension here. You'd put your tip on, and then you have a few different selections here, depending if you want a flat spray, a high pressure spray, just like a little gentle shower. That's about it. You have a pickup tube. So you run this little hose into a bucket. It does come with a collapsible bucket you could use. So if you don't have a bucket, primarily I use like a 5-gallon bucket from Home Depot because it matches. But I use a 5-gallon bucket from Home Depot, and you get a lot of cleaning out of it, and it comes in handy when we're down in Southern Ohio, especially this year. If we have to clean a deer or something like that, we don't have to worry about getting the hose out. If the water's frozen, we can just hook this up to a 5-gallon bucket, get some warm water out of the house, put the pickup tube in there, and then just do a quick rinse of a deer if we need to. Once you are in the ecosystem and have these batteries, well, then you can also get a trimmer. Or another personal favorite of mine is the little mini chainsaw. They call it a pruner. So I have all three tools and I enjoy using them all. I would probably say this little chainsaw and this are probably the best out of all of them. The trimmer is good. The hedge trimmer is okay. They do make a little bit heavier duty one that's a longer trimmer that I think would be better for using for thicker brush and bushes. This works okay in a pinch and it's okay in southern Ohio, but with some of our thickets and vines and stuff like that, this is good for vines. And then a little bit heavier duty trimmer is better for the thickets. And in case you missed last year's video, I'll leave all the links from last year's video down there too. Next up is a Wi-Fi water detection system made by Govee, and it's pretty simple. It has a little receiver that you plug in somewhere in the house, maybe centrally located between all of your little sensors. And then I got the 3-pack of sensors. So I have a sensor down by the sump pump. We have one behind our refrigerator where the ice maker line is, and then we have one by our washer dryer where the water supply is for the washing machine. So there's the 3 places where we're most likely to get a leak, and we have in the past. And it'll allow you 24-hour monitoring. It's going to notify your phone, give you an alarm that goes off, an audible alarm if you happen to be home when it is happening. Just a thin layer of water on the plate. And back in August, we did have an incident where it was raining like crazy. I was actually on the treadmill in the back sunroom, and this alert went off on my phone. And at first I wasn't sure what it was because I've never seen it before, but then I realized, oh, that's the sensor going off, and I realized it was raining like crazy, so my first thought was the sump pump. And sure enough, the sump pump was not keeping up with the amount of water that was coming in the crock. Now, we avoided any incident. We have 2 sump pumps in there and both started running. Had we not been home, we could have called a neighbor to go check it out real quick. And I even have a camera that watches it. So when we are out of town for a long period of time, I can click that on, make sure that my main sump pump is going and that we're not on the backup and that there's no issues going on. So give you a little peace of mind. There might be other trouble points where you might want to just put it under your kitchen sink, or maybe put it under your bathroom sink or by the toilet itself. But I think you can buy up to 10 sensors for it. I got 3, it was right around $35 at the time. And again, you'll get an audible alarm and a notification on your phone, and you can set it up to warn somebody else too if for some reason you're not around. This is a little bit pricier gift on my gift guide. Essentially, this is a telescope, and it's not your typical telescope if you remember from when you were a kid. There is no viewfinder that you look into, and then you don't try to line things up and take it outside, and you have this large tripod, and you need an equatorial mount, and you have to try to figure out what you're looking at, and then you have a little finder scope, and on and on and on, setting up the old-fashioned way of a telescope. It's great once you find something and you're able to view it and share that with people, but most of the time there's less satisfaction and more hassle involved with those, and this takes out a lot of the hassle. In fact, this is your viewfinder right here. You're going to view what is on the screen. It's going to show you what it's looking at on the face of your phone, whether it be Android or iPhone. This comes in right around $450 to $500. It's called a Seestar S50. So this is the lens side of it. And this is what's going to do your viewing for you. And like I said, there's no viewfinder that you try to look into it. You're going to be using your phone or an iPad or an Android device as your viewfinder. And it's pretty simple to use. You can get very technical with this if you want to. But right out of the box, it's very easy to use. Download the app, put it on your phone, pull it out of the box, and even if it's in the daytime and you want to view something, it comes with a shield for the sun. So if you want to get a picture of the sun, and everything I show you on this video is going to be pictures that I took with the Seestar, just to give you an idea of the quality we're talking about. So this would go on here and snap that in, and then you're all set to view the sun in the daytime, and you can see dark spots on the sun. Kind of neat right off the bat. And then of course the other big object in the sky is the moon. Now there's tons of objects in the sky to view. Just you find a dark sky and you look up at night and you see so many things. And a lot of people, you know, don't know the constellations, don't really know which planet is which when it's up in the sky. And there's other things to view. There's nebulas, there's a bazillion things to view up in the night sky. And it's just a matter of being able to find it. You know, when is it going to be out? The sky is changing every day when you look at it. So you have your wintertime constellations, you have your summertime constellations course, your fall and your spring. So the sky is always a little bit different. Now, one nice thing about this is I can use this app inside the house, and I don't even have to be outside by the telescope. It could be 20 degrees outside, and I can be nice and warm in the house, and go to the app here, and I can go look at what tonight's best viewing is, and it'll tell me the best things to view at the time that I am looking at the app. There's also deep sky and our solar system. So if I go in here and select Andromeda, which is M31, it'll show me where it's at in the sky right now, where it will be in the future as I scroll across here, and it'll show you which direction it'll be facing. Now, Andromeda is very large, and in this rectangle is about what the Seestar would take a picture of. But they did do an update recently that allows you to make a larger scale picture and also rotate that rectangle around. And basically what the Seestar is going to do is take multiple pictures, create a mosaic, and stitch them all together. Now, one difference between a telescope and the Seestar is the Seestar is going to need a large amount of time to get a proper picture of Andromeda. So this took 80 minutes altogether. You can see it in the right hand corner. But I didn't have to stand by the telescope. I just could check the app periodically. I didn't have to stay on the app. It'll pretty much do its thing all by itself once you decide to go to an object. Now this took 3 minutes, and it's a comet. It's Comet Swan. It doesn't have a tail really, but you can pick out the green tint compared to the other stars. This is the Silver Galaxy, and this took 21 minutes to process. And when I say 21 minutes, it's essentially taking a series of exposures, sometimes 10 seconds, 20 seconds. You could take 30-second exposures, and it'll do that repeatedly. And the longer you stay on an object, the better quality your picture is going to be. So for example, tonight I was out comet hunting, and I had the Seestar set up. And while I'm trying to look at pictures that I'm taking with my phone, I had the Seestar also taking pictures at the same time. So as you can see here, there is 2 motors in there, one for up and down and one for left and right, and it'll track objects as they move across the sky. And that was one issue with having a telescope, was the ability to track an object. A lot of times you would find something to look at, you'd look at it, and by the time you had a friend look, it was out of view. Now you can find planets with this, and you can see Jupiter and Saturn, but it is not going to be as large and as vibrant as you think it's going to be. It's really not meant for planetary objects. I click the find button, and if you look, it's toning itself in, tracking across the sky, and picking out where Saturn should be. Now there are some people that will take some of this data and reprocess it in other pieces of software on their computer and make nice vibrant pictures even of Saturn, but this is about the best that you are going to do with the Seestar. And it might be a little bit disappointing, but it's still neat to be able to find it. But the Seestar is best for deep sky objects and finding comets. I've been using it for 1.5 years now, really haven't had any issues. There have been a lot of firmware updates, which primarily just added more features to the telescope. As I said, this is an S50. They also make an S30, which is a little bit less expensive, but gives you a wider field of view in the sky. The built-in battery will last about 5 hours. There is a dew protector on there, so if it's a dewy night, there'll be a little heater by the lens area that'll keep dew from building up. And you can add an external power source to it if you want to go more than 5 hours. It comes nicely packed in this little case. This is a tripod. You have a USB cable, your sun protector lens, and the unit itself. I've always enjoyed viewing the night sky, and this has made it a little bit easier, and being able to do it in the comfort of your own home in a nice warm house makes it all the better. That's just some gift ideas for the upcoming holiday season. Those are things that I've been using this past year and had good luck with, and I just thought I would share them with you. Some are a little bit on the pricey side, some are not so much on the pricey side. So hopefully there's something in there that maybe you want, or you know somebody else that might need it. But that is going to do it for today. I appreciate everybody watching. I hope you enjoy and subscribe to these videos. Click on that little bell when you want to know when a new one is coming out, and keep an eye on us. Have a good holiday, everybody.